Funding for this program is provided by Friends, the Iowa PBS Foundation. As elected officials gather in Iowa's capital city of Des Moines, Major General Stephen Osborn, Adjutant General of the Iowa National Guard, speaks to a joint session of the Iowa Legislature. This is the 2025 Condition of the Guard Address.
The appointment of the Senator from Iowa, Senator Driscoll, the Senator from Webster, Senator Kreinbrink, and the Senator from Polk, Senator Knox, on the part of the Senate, the Representative from Webster, Representative A. Meyer, the Representative from Dallas, Representative Nordman, and the Representative from Lynn, Representative Wichtendahl, on the part of the House. Will the committee retire and perform its duty? The chair recognizes the Senator from Polk, Senator Whitver.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I move that a committee of 6, 3 members from the Senate and 3 members from the House, be appointed to notify the Adjutant General of the Iowa National Guard, Major General Stephen Osborn, that the Joint Convention is ready to receive him.
You've heard the motion from the Senator from Polk, Senator Whitver. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The motion prevails, and the chair announces the appointment of the Senator from Woodbury, Senator Alons, the Senator from Pottawatomie, Senator Dawson, and the Senator from Polk, Senator Blake, on the part of the Senate, the Representative from Lee, Representative Graber, the Representative from Cerro Gordo, Representative Hermanson, and the Representative from Polk, Representative McBurney, on the part of the House. Will the committee please retire and perform its duty? Chair recognizes the Sergeant at Arms.
Madam President, the Executive Council has arrived in the House chamber.
Please escort the Executive Council to their seats. The Chair recognizes the Sergeant at Arms.
Madam President, the Lieutenant Governor Conoyer has arrived in the House chamber.
Please escort Lieutenant Governor Conoyer to her seat. The Chair recognizes the Sergeant at Arms.
Madam President, your committee to escort Governor Reynolds has arrived.
The Chair recognizes the Sergeant at Arms.
There we go. Madam President, your committee to notify and escort Major General Stephen Osborn has arrived.
The committee will escort Major General Stephen Osborn, Adjutant General of the Iowa National Guard, to the rostrum. It is my pleasure to introduce Major General Stephen Osborn, Adjutant General of the Iowa National Guard. Major General Osborn is here to present the Condition of the Iowa National Guard address.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you, Speaker Grassley and President Sinclair, for inviting me to speak to you all today. And I'm going to go off script right out of the chute here. There's a number of service members around that are the leadership of the Iowa National Guard and soldiers that we're going to recognize. I would like them to stand and be recognized before we get moving here. Please stand. Thank you. They're truly the ones that make the Iowa National Guard move forward, so thank you. Governor Reynolds, Lieutenant Governor Conoyer, distinguished members of the Iowa General Assembly, state officials, and my fellow Iowans, it is an honor to stand before you today as the Adjutant General of the Iowa National Guard. And on behalf of the nearly 9,000 men and women that make up our organization, I want to express our deepest appreciation for your support and your partnership. Without your continued investment in our mission, our success would not be possible. I would also like to extend my gratitude to Governor Reynolds and her team for their commitment to the brave Iowans who serve or have served our great state and nation. Integrity, trust, and care for our people are at the heart of our success and the bedrock of everything we do. The Iowa National Guard is a dedicated and professional force, part of the less than 1% of all Americans who choose to wear our nation's uniform. We are a unique component of the United States military, being the only component to serve both state and federal governments. The National Guard functions as the primary combat reserve of the Army and the Air Force, while also providing critical support to our nation's governors during time of domestic emergencies. From natural disaster relief efforts to international deployments, our service members have met every challenge with excellence and a steadfast commitment to serve and protect the people of Iowa and our great nation. And looking back over 2024, it was another dynamic year for the Iowa National Guard as we deployed over 700 soldiers and airmen to locations across the state, across the nation, and 14 different countries around the world. From December of 2023 to October of 2024, soldiers from Charlie Company, 2nd of the 211th Aviation Regiment, and the 186th Military Police Company deployed to Kosovo as part of NATO's Kosovo force, providing vital medical evacuation and law enforcement support to all NATO partners and contributing to a safe, stable, and peaceful Kosovo. From January to April, the 185th Air Refueling Wing deployed 135 airmen to Guam, bolstering strategic air power across the Indo-Pacific theater. In April, we once again supported Texas and Operation Lone Star as a state active duty support mission with 115 soldiers on the southwest border. During the destructive Northwest Iowa floods in June, soldiers and airmen from multiple organizations worked tirelessly to support the governor's response efforts with aviation search and rescue, high water transportation, and debris removal. In July, we welcomed home 150 soldiers from the 831st Engineer Company after a 10-month deployment to the Middle East. In September, we deployed 2 Army Chinook helicopters and 15 crew members to support North Carolina's Hurricane Helene relief efforts in a state active duty status. These crews delivered over 176,800 pounds of food and water and rescued 38 people. In October, we welcomed home soldiers from the 1034th Combat Sustainment Support Battalion after a 12-month federal mission on the southwest border, supporting United States Customs and Border Protection. In November, airmen and soldiers from the 168th Cyber Operations Squadron and our Defensive Cyber Operations Element supported the Iowa Secretary of State with election cybersecurity assistance. And as I speak, we have 63 of our soldiers and airmen in Washington, D.C. on a federal status, providing support to the presidential inauguration as we typically do. Outside of our operational efforts, I want to take a moment to highlight some of the successful programs and partnerships within the Iowa National Guard that reflect our commitment to our communities, our people, and the state of Iowa. One of our most impactful initiatives is the National Guard Counter-Drug Program, which plays a vital role in combating illegal drug trafficking and drug abuse in our communities. Through this Department of Defense-funded program, our soldiers and airmen support law enforcement agencies across Iowa in the fight against illicit drugs and transnational threats. Our Iowa National Guard analysts work directly with law enforcement partners, providing critical information in order to help illicit drug operations and prosecute drug cases. In 2024, analysts worked over 1,200 cases, contributing to the seizure of 2,327 pounds of drugs and 884 arrests, and this includes the seizure of approximately 30 pounds of fentanyl. As we continue to further a culture of safety and resilience within the Iowa National Guard, our DoD-supported Integrated Primary Prevention Workforce, or IPPW, has been instrumental in helping our leaders identify, mitigate, and prevent harmful behaviors within our force. Our professional IPPW staff works closely with our leaders to better understand and address risk factors related to harmful behaviors that impact the health and well-being of our service members, our families, and our civilian employers. Our IPPW team remains a crucial element as we continue to prioritize the health and safety of our people. We also value the partnerships we've cultivated with business, community, education, and media leaders, which amplify our impact and foster mutual understanding. Over this past year, we've conducted a number of large-scale community engagements across the state, and we've engaged leadership groups, educators, and nonprofit organizations to share information and to support their efforts. We've also worked closely with employers and business leaders in coordination with the employer support of the Guard and Reserve to share more about our mission and identify new ways to collaborate. This includes flying 49 employers, along with representatives from 3 media outlets, to Camp Ripley, Minnesota this past July as part of the ESGR Boss Lift program. This event provided these employers and media members an opportunity to personally witness the dedication, skill, and professionalism of our service members, as well as observe the extensive training of our units. Together, with our community partners, we are building a stronger, safer, and more connected Iowa while staying true to our mission of service and remaining always ready. For the Iowa National Guard, readiness is our business. It is the product we produce and the expectation placed upon us. Readiness starts with the quality people that make up our organization, but quickly escalates to one uncompromising principle: training. Training that is relevant, rigorous, and will prepare our units to deploy, operate, and win today and in the future. Developing skilled and disciplined soldiers and airmen comes from the realistic and challenging training that we demand, coupled with the individual and unit experiences we continue to gain. This is evident with our Air National Guard units as they continuously prepare for future operations while actively engaging in operational missions around the world, directly from their bases here in Iowa or forward deployed. This was witnessed firsthand by the governor during a recent visit to the 185th Air Refueling Wing in Sioux City. Governor Reynolds took part in an air refueling mission to observe the critical importance of our training, the competency of our airmen, and the capability of our units. Our Army units are also continually preparing for operations while adhering to the Army's Global Force Management Allocation Plan, placing our units in a 5-year readiness cycle. This cycle annually increases the demand and rigor of unit training, culminating with the availability for unit deployment in support of operational missions around the world. Last year, our largest unit, 2nd Brigade Combat Team, 34th Infantry Division, with over 3,300 soldiers assigned, participated in the Army National Guard's Exportable Combat Training Program, a highly resourced capstone training event designed to conduct integrated collective training as part of the unit's readiness build. 2nd Brigade's readiness cycle will conclude this summer as they execute a demanding 21-day force-on-force training rotation at the Joint Readiness Training Center in Fort Johnson, Louisiana. This JRTC rotation is the final event for 2nd Brigade's 5-year readiness cycle, and upon completion, over 1,800 soldiers of the 2nd Brigade Combat Team are scheduled to deploy to the Middle East in support of Operation Inherent Resolve. As a key component of our readiness, the Iowa National Guard continues to invest in our longstanding and impactful relationship with the Republic of Kosovo and the Kosovo Security Force through the National Guard's State Partnership Program. Through our partnership, we work side by side with the KSF in multiple capacities, strengthening interoperability, understanding, and trust. In 2024, we conducted 25 partnered events focused on cybersecurity, signal communications, military medicine, leader development, and maneuver operations. Our efforts continue to support the Kosovo Security Force as they work toward becoming a NATO interoperable territorial defense force capable of protecting the sovereignty and the citizens of Kosovo. As part of this enduring partnership, I am proud to say the KSF will participate in our upcoming JRTC training exercise this summer with an infantry company of 130 soldiers serving directly under the leadership of our 2nd Brigade Combat Team. I'm also excited to announce that we are working together with the U.S. Department of Defense and the Republic of Kosovo Minister of Defense to co-deploy a KS infantry platoon of 38 soldiers as part of our 2nd Brigade's mission in the Middle East, marking this the second and largest co-deployment to date between the Iowa National Guard and the Kosovo Security Force. But our Iowa connection with the Republic of Kosovo goes beyond a military partnership as we continue to solidify our whole-of-society relationship to facilitate greater opportunities both here in Iowa and in Kosovo. At this time, it is my honor to introduce a special guest joining us today, Chief of Consular Mission at the Consulate of the Republic of Kosovo here in Des Moines, the Honorable Drilin Zogai. Mr. Zogai recently assumed the lead position at the Kosovo Consulate and fosters the connection we have with the government of Kosovo. He supports the international collaboration efforts which help to strengthen our strategic partnership with Kosovo, and he is a true supporter of not only our military-to-military partnership, but also the whole of Iowa, whole of Kosovo relationship. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming a true friend and partner, Chief of Mission Drilin Zogai. Our programs, partnerships, training, and operational efforts reflect the strength and dedication of our organization as represented by the accomplishments of our people. To showcase this, I would like to take a few moments to highlight some of the extraordinary individuals who represent the Iowa National Guard and the Iowa Department of Public Defense. Today, we recognize Specialist Juan De La Roca Sis, one of our newer members of the Iowa National Guard, whose remarkable journey exemplifies perseverance, dedication, and service. Born in Guatemala, Specialist De La Roca Sis moved to New York and later relocated to Sioux City, Iowa, where he graduated from Sioux City West High School. Overcoming numerous challenges, Specialist De La Roca Sis relied on the love and support from foster parents to develop a successful business. Motivated by a desire to give back, Juan enlisted in the Iowa Army National Guard in April 2023 as an infantryman. His determination led him to excel at Fort Moore, Georgia, where he earned a spot in the United States Army Ranger School, one of the most mentally and physically demanding courses in any branch of military service. Not only did Specialist De La Roca Sis graduate and earn the coveted Ranger tab, he also successfully completed airborne school, earning his parachutist wings. Within a month of returning to Iowa, Specialist De La Roca Sis became a U.S. citizen, thanks to our partnership with the United States Citizenship and Immigration Service. His story of resilience, elite military accomplishment, and citizenship is a testimony to the American dream. Please join me in recognizing Specialist Juan De La Roca Sis, who will later deploy with that 2nd Brigade to the Middle East. Juan, thank you. Senior Master Sergeant Gary Sanders exemplifies the highest standards of dedication, service, and selflessness. As a firefighter with the 132nd Civil Engineering Squadron and the Ankeny Fire Department, Senior Master Sergeant Sanders is no stranger to putting others first. This year, while preparing for a family vacation, he was ordered to state active duty to assist with flood disaster response in northwest Iowa. Without hesitation, he set aside personal plans and deployed within 24 hours to aid the affected communities. Senior Master Sergeant Sanders and his team worked tirelessly, removing over 4,400 cubic yards of debris, equivalent to more than 1,300 tons in just 5 days. His efforts, in partnership with the Iowa Department of Transportation, brought much-needed relief to the people of Sioux Rapids and Spencer during this critical time. Whether responding to emergencies as a firefighter, answering the call to state disasters, or fulfilling his role in national defense, Senior Master Sergeant Sanders consistently prioritizes the well-being of others, making him an exceptional example of the Iowa National Guard's commitment to service. Please join me in recognizing Senior Master Sergeant Gary Sanders. Staff Sergeant Tara Rue currently serves in the Iowa Army National Guard as a flight paramedic based out of Waterloo. In her full-time civilian capacity, she works for a company that specializes in training civilian flight paramedics. In addition to her full-time job and her career in the Army National Guard, she works part-time as a nurse, picking up shifts in the emergency department at the University of Iowa Hospital. In June, Staff Sergeant Rue was ordered to state active duty in response to the floods in northwest Iowa. Staff Sergeant Rue, as part of a 4-person air medical evacuation crew, responded to a request for assistance for an individual trapped in floodwaters near Spencer. During the operation, Staff Sergeant Rue was lowered from her UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter by the aircraft rescue hoist to secure and rescue a gentleman who was stranded on his car in the rushing floodwaters of the Little Sioux River. Staff Sergeant Rue is a mother of 2, a soldier, a first responder, and an unwavering volunteer. She has dedicated 21 years of her life to military service. She lives the values and ideals of the Iowa National Guard and embodies the spirit of the citizen soldier. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in recognizing Staff Sergeant Tara Rue. Second Lieutenant Michael Ployer of the 132nd Security Forces Squadron demonstrated heroism, quick thinking, and exceptional skill in a life-threatening situation on July 30th. As a Des Moines police officer, responding to a call of an officer down during a volatile police pursuit, Lieutenant Ployer arrived within seconds to find Officer Jesse Schneider critically injured with a gunshot wound. Drawing on advanced medical training from his service in the Iowa National Guard, Lieutenant Ployer applied life-saving measures, including multiple chest seals, to address wounds that could have caused Officer Schneider's lungs to collapse. Thanks to Lieutenant Ployer's decisive action and expert medical care, Officer Schneider survived his injuries and made a full recovery. This extraordinary act of courage and professionalism underscores the value of National Guard training and highlights Lieutenant Ployer's commitment to protecting and serving his community both in and out of military uniform. Lieutenant Ployer is currently away at Security Forces Officer School, but we would like to congratulate his wife, Alyssa, as we recognize that family members also serve and sacrifice alongside our service members. Please join me in recognizing Second Lieutenant Michael Ployer and his wife, Alyssa. It is my honor to highlight the extraordinary journey and contribution of Mr. Tien Tran, a state employee with the Iowa Department of Public Defense. Mr. Tran's story is a testament of gratitude and service. Born in Vietnam, Mr. Tran immigrated to the United States as a teenager with no family and minimal English skills, supported by a sponsorship through Governor Ray's refugee policy. Overcoming incredible challenges, Mr. Tran built a life in Iowa, dedicating decades of service to Broadlawns Hospital and Unity Point Health before taking early retirement. But his retirement didn't last long. Driven by a profound sense of gratitude and sacrifice of the U.S. soldiers he witnessed during his youth in Vietnam, Mr. Tran chose to serve once again, this time as a custodial supervisor with the Department of Public Defense at Camp Dodge. His service is not only a reflection of his character, but also an inspiration to all who have had the privilege to work with him. Please join me in recognizing Mr. Tien Tran with the Iowa Department of Public Defense. Ladies and gentlemen, we stand at a pivotal moment in the evolution of the Iowa National Guard, as transformation and modernization of our military is not just a goal, it is a necessity to guarantee our future security. Here at home, this translates to strengthening our organization with relevant force structure, upskilling our personnel, securing meaningful missions, and modernizing our infrastructure to support our future readiness objectives. In 2025, the Iowa National Guard will embrace changes to our force structure and missions pertaining to cyber operations, contingency response, field artillery, and combat engineers. This equates to a gain of 137 new authorizations for the Iowa National Guard, meaning new positions, opportunities, and growth to our state. In May, we will open our new $24 million West Des Moines Readiness Center, funded through both state and federal dollars. This state-of-the-art facility will serve not only the Iowa National Guard, but also the West Des Moines Fire Department, demonstrating the collaboration between the Iowa National Guard and our local communities. Later this year, we will break ground on a new $14 million federally funded Army National Guard maintenance facility in Sioux City. We will also complete the design of a $95 million federally funded replacement runway in Sioux City. We continue to work with our Siouxland partners, elected leaders, and National Guard Bureau toward funding this critical military construction project. These investments will modernize both Army and Air National Guard facilities and allow for continued mission execution and expanded growth into the future. A future that is both volatile and uncertain as we face an evolving set of complex threats. Our future challenges demand a stronger, more modern, and more capable force, and your continued support is vital to our success toward achieving our readiness goals in manning, training, equipping, and modernization. My top priority this legislative session is to modernize and improve upon the most utilized state benefit afforded to our service members, the Iowa National Guard Service Scholarship. We're proposing and ask for your support on the expansion of INGSS to include certificate and credentialing programs. We are seeking flexibility for our evolving workforce as we work with the Iowa Department of Education to expand INGSS beyond undergraduate degree programs and include certificate and credentialing programs at accredited state institutions. To help support this expansion of INGSS, we are also proposing a requirement that application for military federal tuition assistance be mandated first, prior to the utilization of state tuition assistance, allowing further reach of our state resources. In essence, our proposal is FTA before STA. And finally, we request an exception to the current chronic absenteeism law for military applicants and those fulfilling their duty without being penalized academically. We ask for your support of this provision to help our high school military applicants and recruits seamlessly enter the military and begin their service. As we look forward, I want to emphasize our efforts that will guide the Iowa National Guard into the future. First and foremost, the care and success of our people remains at the heart of everything we do. Recruiting young men and women to join our ranks remains the foundation of our readiness, and we will continue to focus on their success, providing them the resources, training, and support they need to thrive and be successful in their military roles and in their lives. With the dedicated effort of our recruiting force, supplemented with the support of the governor and an ARPA-funded state incentive pilot program, we've achieved significant strength improvements across both the Iowa Army and Air National Guard this past year. I am proud to say that the Iowa National Guard ended fiscal year 24 with a 99.5% assigned strength and an 83% retention rate, one of the highest in the nation. And as we move into 2025, our momentum continues. We've gained over 440 new soldiers and airmen since 1 October, numbers we haven't seen in over 5 years. Our second effort is the transformation of the Iowa National Guard and shaping the future of our organization and our state. We are evolving to meet the demands of an ever-changing world, focusing on the modernization of our force, infrastructure, and equipment. This transformation brings new missions, new opportunities, and new challenges. For Iowa, it means economic growth, job creation, and a stronger, more secure community. We will continue to align our priorities with the needs of our state and our nation, ensuring the Iowa National Guard remains always ready. Lastly, our training must prepare our people for the future complex missions both at home and abroad. As we move into 2025, we will leverage our aggressive training to ensure our units will succeed in support of their daily operational missions and as part of our scheduled deployment cycles, continuing our legacy of excellence and service. The strength of our force lies in its readiness, and readiness comes from relentless preparation. As I close, I want to thank each and every one of you for your leadership and commitment to this great state and your support to the Iowa National Guard. It is an incredible honor to serve alongside the great men and women of our organization. And I look forward to working with each one of you as we move the Iowa National Guard into the future. God bless all of you. God bless this great state, and God bless our wonderful nation. Thank you very much.
Will the committee to escort Major General please come forward and escort Major General Osborn from the House chamber?
Funding for this program is provided by Friends, the Iowa PBS Foundation,